Hey guys, welcome to our review of Banana Fish episode 12. I'm your host Makotoa, and with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
Alright, sorry this one is late, you guys. We had some issues going on between our schedules and we couldn't get the episode out in time. But we are here now, so thanks for watching, or thanks for waiting, but yeah. Oh man, this episode... the death flags, I don't know, like, if... Say what you said at the end of this episode about the number of episodes being, like, a giveaway, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we've already said this before in an earlier review, so sorry, minor spoiler alert. Since this episode, or since the series goes like 24 episodes, we can kind of assume that Ash isn't going to die in the upcoming fight.
Yeah. It
Despite them
just,
kind of
they're
like,
really setting it up like it would. Like, if we hadn't known that it was a 24 episode series, it would have been like, oh, he's dead next episode. It's over. And
yeah,
we can start, getting ready, get our black clothes so that we can be ready to mourn next episode next week. But no, chances are he's probably not gonna die. But it does make for some good drama.
yeah.
This
Like, even if we
episode,
didn't know, like, since there's so much other stuff going on with Banana Fish, like, you just can't kill Ash when he hasn't saved the world yet.
he, I mean, he's definitely realizing his mortality. Like, even when he was talking to the soldier dude, he's like, if I died, would you take over for me on this journey, this hunt? And I mean, he leaves AG sleeping on the couch after their little Halloween party too.
Yeah.
Man, the feels. I'm getting scared. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I mean, AG and Ash had a fight this episode. Is yeah,
Yeah.
you could kind of feel it getting there, like it was gonna happen eventually, and it made sense and it worked. Um,
Yeah,
it
and it
was
happened like relatively fast, thankfully.
mhm.
So
It didn't like last a whole episode to get everybody okay with each other. I think these characters are well fleshed out enough that are matured enough, especially Ash. I think Ash has developed a little bit more as a character. Either that or it's just his soft spot for AG that helped him get over it more quickly.
yeah,
But
but like honestly, like the problem itself isn't really fixed. It's just like now
yeah.
they kind of solidified that AG is a person who can actually talk to Ash about these problems and give him like a little bit of a reprieve from all of this like hectic chaos.
Yeah.
Like he still feels the responsibility and the weight of this entire operation on his shoulders. So that's also something that he can't ignore, and just kind of seeing him being like torn between those two, like
Mm-hmm.
like when he yelled back at like H, he's like, "I don't want this gift." Like, how do you think it makes me
Yeah.
feel? Yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know how you don't know me. Ugh. I mean, there was like lots of little things this episode that are worth noting. I think probably the biggest thing worth noting, to me at least, is how somewhat relevant, or how grounded in realism. I don't even want to say that, but it's really trying to go off of real world type situations where there's always fighting in the Middle East, and America gets its paws in there somehow, makes up an excuse to get in and have some kind of hold in those places as like a puppet state, right? And
yeah,
this show specifically thinks that America is willing to go in and do all that stuff for drug money. I think that's a little bit, on the lower scale of people's greed. I think there's bigger fish to fry when it comes to having,
well, like the
political
money side
power.
is mostly for the mafias because they're gonna
Yeah.
fund a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it's really nice to see that they're
It's
trying to
it's keeping
relate it.
relevant, like, and it's especially considering this is supposed to take place in the 90s, I believe, or earlier than that. They modernized the anime adaptation, so that's why they've got cell phones and stuff. But I
Yeah,
mean, if they're carrying over this this kind of theme that America getting its hands dirty in the Middle East, it's still relevant today, so it carried over. It aged well, right? That whole
yeah,
theme. They didn't have to really tweak too much to like get that in there and make it
yeah.
seem to make sense. So interestingly enough, morbidly
Yeah,
enough. But
yeah, that's a terrible problem to kind of like still have around, even
yeah.
though they kind of adapted for more modern times. It's still a core issue. I mean, I don't
Right.
know how it is in like the manga, so we
Mm-hmm.
might be just talking out of our asses here.
Yeah.
But on like the point of like realism, what did you feel about the kind of
Yeah, I know where you're going.
how do I word this?
The
Like
tropes suddenly
yeah,
getting in here. Suddenly the
th-
Japanese tropes started showing up in this very
yeah,
seemingly for the most of the show it has avoided a lot of tropes. It's avoided a lot of
yeah,
that kind of like tropey humor or idealism type stuff. I mean, this episode
yeah.
especially kind of showed that we've got yeah, this is an anime. Yeah, we're still watching an
Yeah.
anime here.
Yeah, it's kind of
um,
like weird for us to complain about like Banana Fish being too much
right,
of an anime,
right.
but a lot of like those things are really like seep in like Japanese culture and stuff, and kind of see this in like an anime that's based in America, and for the most part has been really grounded. It kind of felt like
Mm-hmm.
it was a mafia story in America. For them to kind of like act like
Mm-hmm.
tsunderes and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially
Uh,
like okay, thinking back to the part where he goes to visit the black dude's gang, and like one of his men's like, "No, you can't go visit him. He hates white people," or something like that. Like, and I mean, I
that
wouldn't
might also be a
doubt.
subtitle thing, or like
Oh, okay. Like, I mean, no,
you can't translate.
I feel like that is it's like, he doesn't like white dudes or something because this show has not, pretended that there aren't ethnic specific gangs, right?
Yeah,
So I believe that this is translated correctly. I just think that it was funny that when they did finally show up, the way that the gang leader acted just didn't seem quite it was like, "Oh, yeah, you came here alone, so we're gonna respect you and not beat you up on
yeah,
your way out." Like, I don't believe that for a second, to be honest. But okay, pretend that there's honor among thieves or gang members, but or there's some kind of respect for each other. I don't really see it, but this is still a fantasy show to some
yeah.
degree. So
Like it's
I'm
a minor gripe,
yeah.
but yeah,
It was something to note. It was a little bit funny. Also, I don't know if it was the particular subbers that we got our our video from, but there were just some weird names for random like street
oh
thugs
yeah, like at the
thrown around.
beginning,
Like there was a guy named Wookie. Frick, what were the others?
I think it was like Dickon or something.
Oh yeah,
It was
something.
something weird like that.
If it was the subbers or if those were legitimate names that they translated over, kind of doubt that. But there's another thing to note.
Yeah, like when Arthur's kind of like setting the mood for the episode, and he's like, "Oh no, he killed like my allies." If her name like Wookie and whatever the hell the other one was, like
Yeah,
I was just laughing. I couldn't
yeah,
really
yeah.
feel the threat on his side of things.
Um,
Mm.
all in all, though, like I liked that this episode it continued to show the developing relationship between Ash and Ag.
Yeah,
It was like you were for a second there. You were almost like, wait, are they gonna go somewhere finally? Are they gonna do something? When Ash brings up the hey Ag, do you have a girlfriend back in Japan? It's like no, of course not. Well, why do you ask? Like, oh senpai, oh no. It's just so you were half expecting something to happen, but it didn't. I guess they're saving that for
yeah. But I
episode
like that though.
24.
I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like
yeah.
the tease more
It's a
than like the actual
tease.
thing.
It's a
Yeah,
tease. We've got to wait for that one.
yeah.
Anything else this episode to note? No? Okay.
Not really.
Yeah.
Me.
Again, sorry this review was late. We'll try to be better with the next one because there's a lot of activity on these banana fish reviews, so we don't want to like mess up the cycle or rhythm of our uploads. Anyways, if you liked the video, give us a like. What did you think of the episode? Put it in the comments down below. And no spoilers again, if possible. Also, subscribe if you want to see more from us each week. I think we're good. Until next time, see ya.
Keep it juicy.
Oh, yeah. And outro. It's fun.
Alright.
I don't even know if I should bother with the outros anymore. I keep forgetting to like put the recommended in the actual end card. So most of these videos are just a swirling vortex these days.
Episode 47.
Oh, what the heck? Come on. Why isn't it?